That's Bravo Golf, BG. AMC shares popping here ahead of
Hey guys, good morning. It's Dave Santarelli from Santarelli Trading Exchange, BreakingChartAlerts.com. Hope everyone's having a great morning. Today it is Wednesday, so we are going to be searching here for some more day trades here today. Yesterday morning we closed out. I think we were 6 for 6 or 7 for 7 for day trades. Made about $3,800 just scalping some SPY contracts. So with expiration here today on SPY, we're going to be doing the same thing, looking at some SPY contracts and start that. So if you guys are new to us, please click this video, click like, click subscribe, and click that bell to get notified every time we go live or post some new updates there for you.
Says on June 17th.
And let's get started.
Swan Luxury.
Alrighty, guys. So we're looking at SPY here.
Framework agreement on strategic collaboration.
Let me put this over here a little bit.
Cultural media.
All right. So let's take a look. We're looking at SPY here today. Give it the first 15 minutes. See what we're going to be doing there. As far as the trade plan goes, I'm getting some alerts here. Let's see what they are. CNBC. All right, so we got a lot of stuff here on the watch list that's actually turning green. Powell tells Congress the Fed is strongly committed to bringing down inflation. All right, let's go down this watch list here. We'll start from the top. We'll go down. We'll start at a 3-month daily. We'll start at Amazon and work our way down. So shares of Amazon down about $1, 1%. Baidu shares getting a climb, looking pretty good there. Not too bad. Let's see what BABA is going to be looking like here. BABA shares not looking too bad here either. I'm going to put BABA down on my watch list here for a possibility of a swing trade. BABA, it's at 104.31. I always like putting the price down as reference when I come back to it later on there. Let's see, Google shares down about $9. Disney,
FDA
Netflix.
is preparing to order Juul cigarettes off the U.S. market.
Juul cigarettes are going to be banned from the U.S. market.
Did you hear they're also trying to take nicotine completely out of actual cigarettes as well?
I heard that a while ago. Yeah, wow. Juul, I used to smoke so many of those Juul e-cigs. I literally used to do like 20 of those a day. It was bad.
Dropping on that. Michael Oscar.
Let's see, JP Morgan, BAC. BAC's not looking too bad there for a possible swing. That's not bad at all right there.
There's a 22nd Century spiking on
Delta, Southwest. Tesla shares look like they want to take that next breakout again there too. AIG, Amgen, Caterpillar, Visa. I wouldn't mind doing a Visa trade for a quick little swing trade. Google, Amazon. BABA's looking good. BABA's at 105.22 right now. I think that's going to have that bigger breakout that we've been waiting for. Thinking about doing something here with BABA, maybe for next week's expo. Let's see what BABA contracts are looking for next week for a possible swing here. Let's see here. So June 24th.
Shares of 22nd Century.
Go with that July 15th. Let's see that 105. That's not bad there. That 105 is only going for about $7.65. I'm going to write that down because that's probably a trade I'm going to be picking up there later on. BABA, July 15th, plenty of time. July 15th, 105 call at 775. So I'm going to look at that when I come back and see what's going on. All right, so that Baba trade right there, that's a nice little setup right there. A lot of open interest there as well. Let me continue to go on the watch list here. Twitter not looking too bad there. Microsoft wouldn't go near that yet. Goldman Sachs pulling down while the banks are doing pretty well. Verizon's still getting that little bit of a climb. We're going to search for some day trades here today. Nice. Hayden said he bought some puts on SPY and Snap before the close. He's up about 38%. Nice job there.
Powell making a semi-annual monetary policy report to Congress.
Under Armour, $7.99. Dylan, what do you think about that one? $7.99. The stock was just what, $60 a few months ago.
That's huge. I tell you, retail
S&P
sales
futures
very
up.
Don't you think that's a really good buy for long term there? Just sell some covered calls against them.
absolutely. I mean, you got a big gap between
Powell said must bring down
1075 and
inflation.
13.
Might be a while for it to move, but nice opportunity there longer term.
Way oversold on your velocity scores.
Oil stocks are down about 4% today. BP down 3.65. Tesla's starting to climb there. Tesla's starting to take off. Watch that, guys, because that might get quickly right back up to that 775.
Chairman and CEO Albert Bourla says stand from decision to cease all clinical trials in Russia.
AMD is starting to climb there, but
investments in local
not
manufacturing.
going to run after that yet, especially after Mike run.
At Papa Foxtrot Echo.
Chevron down 4% today. Man, I'd love to pick up some Chevron. Chevron's back at lows from going back to, March. We haven't seen these prices since March, end of February. Definitely some opportunity there. Bank of America looks great.
On Chevron, there is a lot more potential to the downside. I think to the 140 area, roughly, before it'll start to correct back. From a technical standpoint, it's what it's looking like on a longer term chart for me.
I can't see oil going down
Revlon
much though.
July $10 calls on Romeo Echo Victor.
Airbnb trying to climb. Lucid's looking pretty good there. ExxonMobil coming off the lows. Hertz looking good. Let's see. Intel, Hertz, Snapchat. Man, I wanted to pick up some Snap. I'd really love to pick up Snap. Do you use Snap or no?
Yeah.
You use it frequently, or do you use like Instagram or what social media platforms do you use consistently?
I mostly use Instagram and Snapchat.
Instagram
mostly
and
for their ease of use and the popularity behind them. Facebook is still a good one, especially for all age groups and everything as well.
What about TikTok?
I don't use TikTok personally. I think that's a little bit of a very young generation at the moment kind of thing, but very popular all around.
Walmart's up 0.7% today. Walmart's looking ready for a nice climb there. That was just at 160 back in April there. Pulled back after a big miss on earnings. Starting to get a climb. Apple 134 hanging out right at that 10. Squarespace starting to get a nice climb again. Robinhood $7.50. Unbelievable. Oxy's down 5%. Good thing I didn't get that Oxy trade yesterday. I was looking at that, thinking about it. All right, let's take a look here at SPY, see if we can find some day trades. Let's see, down about 1%. Yesterday I was going to jump into some SPY puts at the end of the day there, but I'm like, yeah, we had a nice climb on SPY. I'm looking at that daily chart. I'm like, yeah, we might get up to that 380 before that next pullback there. So decided to hold off against it, but starting to still climb here off the lows this morning, opening bell lows. We're about, what, 10 minutes in, so 5 minutes until that 9:45 range where we could see some of the setups with our trade plan. Let's see, Captain Thomas says he's at the hospital while his wife goes a simple procedure. Captain, praying for you, buddy. Hope she's okay.
Altitude using drone technology.
Sold 373 strike put, bought at 338. Sold at the open for $532, $1,900 profit. Nice job. Dr. Phil says, look at Meta. Let's see, META. Hate that they changed that ticker.
FB was so much easier.
Yeah. You know, Mark Zuckerberg, he's all over the place now. He's going to get, he's just wandering. And that stock was almost $400. It's at $158 now.
That's rough.
That TLT trade started breaking out. I'm so pissed because I had that a long term, but I ended up selling it because it wasn't doing too much, and now it's starting to break out again. I got that trade somewhere back in here, but that's starting to look really good again. Let's see. Look at Q's breaking down here big time, guys. Q's are breaking down. Almost at lows of the day on Q's. Let's take a look at SPY, see if we can find a day trade. I'm going to get this ready to go. Let's see here.
Nice consolidation zone.
Options. SPY. And if I do this trade, it'd probably be something like this. SPY, put, Expo. Today's the 22nd, right? Those 370s are only going for about $1.30.
Spiking to new highs now, $8.50. Romeo Echo Victor.
Let me get this set up. Okay. All right. Now I'm just gonna watch SPY here.
We will be getting support around this very 368 area.
Revline shares halted on a circuit breaker. Romeo Echo Victor halted on a circuit breaker. $8.60 up.
She wants to break out. Only down 0.8% on the day here, so we might see a reversal. I'm watching Q's over to the right here. Let's see, 3-month daily. On that 370. Breaks below that 370, she'll come down into that 362. So I'm watching that 370 area. Let's see today, 1 minute. Let's watch, see what SPY does here. I'm going to change this over. Call, let's see, 373-ish I'd probably look at. Let's see what that's going for. On the call side there, it's going for about $1.34, not too bad. So if I got 125 contracts, 139 times 5, that's about a $17,000 trade. Okay, so you can see we're still consolidating here, not much going on. So we're waiting for that signal for our entry here, but we're getting our option chain ready to go here on the iMac. This is what I have ready to go now if we start that breakout. Wow, they're at $1.53 already. They were just at $1.30 some. That'd be a nice gain if we start to get a climb. But we got consolidation. Want to see it break that 372.50. I'm watching Q's get right up to that blue 20-day simple moving average right now. Q's are starting to climb, starting to break out nicely there on Q's. Let's see if it holds. Q's got its first candle above that blue 20. Okay, I'm going to jump in. I am in at $1.71. I'm in at $1.71. Markets want to get that climb. Let's see. Qs are breaking out nicely there, guys. See that 372.50 was acting as some resistance there. See what we do at that 10. Go just like that. She wants to break out again. Another nice little climb. Let's see that next breakout. Qs are looking good. Qs want to take off and holding above that 280 right now on Qs. SPY is trying to break out there. Let's see if SPY can break that 372.50 here. There we go. Nice little climb there. See if she can continue.
REV, Revlon resuming trade now. Romeo Echo Victor.
Qs want to break out. Qs are almost at highs of the day right there. There goes Qs breaking out. There goes the market. Nice little climb there. Quick climb. Not much going on here yet. Still really consolidating. Got that 10-20 crossover, but you see the candles side by side. I really want to see that break above that 373 here for that next nice breakout. There we go. There goes Qs. There goes SPY. Nice little climb here.
You're talking large a lot of the SPACs. Yeah, well, there were plenty of IPOs as well.
No, those were a lot. Those
Straight
were
IPOs.
those were deals.
You weren't particularly enthusiastic about them. So you think the fact that the window is closed now on companies going public largely.
There's one I picked up because a lot of people I know went to I said it's a sweet green 50 and 30.
Watching Q's and Spy here side by side.
Losing money. Companies that lose money.
Starting to come back here a little bit. Below that 20, I'd get out.
They loved it. They went to Robinhood.
REV, Revlon, North, $10, July, $10 calls, active.
They bought Dutch Bros because they loved it, but now they cannot afford the annihilator in the afternoon. This is happening in America, and you're laughing. You're busy in Guyana, right? Guyana,
Yes.
Guyana. I'm saying it's in New York.
Guyana.
No, I'm just saying that these companies, David, were annihilators themselves, and we don't talk about it enough. When you speak with younger people, I mean, younger people own plug power. They've been plugged.
Wow.
They own Blue
Plug
Energy.
Power. I remember that one, what, 10, 15 years ago. Used to trade that stock.
Lordstown. Was that a buckaroonie McFadden in Lordstown?
Gets us back to the broader conversation that we've had many, many times. The mountain that many of these companies' stocks climbed, only to come down the other side, down 70, 80%.
You warned us in Riviera.
Yeah.
You said we'd be safe in Riviera.
No, I did
No,
not.
that was
I
wrong.
was somewhat skeptical about the valuation.
In the 28th, I was still
Over $100 billion market.
You said was all over.
Revlon spiking above $9 now, $9.25.
One steady.
Romeo Echo Victor,
Revlon.
It's still one of the most successful stacks out there.
$2.25, 9.26 the high now.
Wasn't it? But
Have you
those
watched
have come under
Box?
a lot of
Have you seen
a lot of
Box?
focus, in part from the office of Elizabeth Warren. Seem to be watching us on CNBC. A lot of their criticism. In fact, a lot of their footnotes
Well,
at our reporting.
I had Box when it was on in the mid-teens, and now it's at $1.70. They continue to do insider buying. People continue, but David, you can't buy stocks of companies that are losing fortunes.
You haven't even mentioned.
Come on, get that next. Come on, just to 373. That's all I'm asking for. 373. Get up there.
Next door is at 3. There was tremendous insider. By the way, they announced the buyback. It's up from 2. It's up from 2.
There you go.
Hey, listen, they don't have a cancer delivery system. They have a network.
Bam, out of that trade, guys, at $1.82. Look at this. Now that's actually a larger trade. That's a nice one. And they should have waited. Look at that. It's at $2 now. It's at $2 freaking bucks. Damn it. But here we go. That was a nice one because I had a decent sized trade on that. Waiting for a while on that one to execute. Man, she's at $2 freaking bucks now. Damn. Now see those people on YouTube? There's that 2-minute delay. Or a minute delay, so when I say sell, then the stock's
right.
like, what? I'd be pissed off. Look at that there, $1.98. Alright, let's see here. So 1.82, divide that by 1.71. That was a 6.43% gain. 6.43% gain. Oh man, 212. Damn it. I love this.
Jay.
Okay, so we had 120 contracts, so 11 times 120. That was a quick $1,320.
After the close, the reporter said this morning that Jana may be pushing to take the company private. That's under Echo Whiskey Romeo. Right now at 47.80, up about 3.75% NEWR.
That was nice. Oh man, she's at 245 now. Damn it, bro. Do you know how big of a trade that was? That was let me just share it in the trade room here and share it with them. That's 120 contracts. Look at that now, 260. Ah, man, I had 120 contracts on that. There you go, guys. There is that trade. And here's what we just did. It's at 255 right now. But take a look there. We were in at 945, out at 953. So that was, what, an 8-minute trade. We got 120 contracts at about $1.71 and sold them for $1.82 there, resulting in a 6.43% gain. On those 120 contracts, we made $1,320 on that trade. Now, here's the thing. If we held a little bit longer, she's at 255, and she's still climbing. Let me see what she's at right now. You see in the background, she's at 240, right? So she's at 240 right now. We sold it at 282. So 2.4 minus 1.82. That's $58 more. 58 times 120. That's an extra $6,960 I would have made if I just held on a little bit longer. But you know, like I said though, if you get in the consistency, I mean, I only made 1,320. But if you get in the consistency of doing that, you can do it a couple times a day and grow an account really nicely. You know, so I mean, that's 1 for 1 for day trades right now. How many of you guys were in and out of that one with me?
S&P futures popping here at 37.59.
Do you guys like what we've been doing the past few days as far as day trades go and the way we've been trading? Or do you guys like, you want to go back to the other way we were doing things there? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the trade room. Please. John Rhodes says the day trades are great. Markets are ready to turn green here, guys, you know, so get ready for another day trade. Captain Thomas says, nice. Cap, do you like trading like this, or is this a little fast, you know, fast for your liking? Roxy said Q's moving up nice, took off. Janie says, good morning, day trades, please. Did you get in that day trade there, Janie? Nice. Good job, Janie. Dylan, were you able to trade yet or no?
I am, yeah. I didn't get that one, but I am.
You didn't get it?
Nope.
Ah. She's still breaking out here. I'm deciding what the hell I want to do. We got Amazon in the green now, though, so that's going to be nice.
Powell said high rate moderate asset prices. SNOW Snowflake, the August 120 calls active, and the November Oscar whiskey.
Waiting for that next signal here on SPY so we could do some more day trading. Captain, your Cassava Science is looking pretty good. 27.37 over there. Let's see. Turkey Nader says, thoughts on Neo. Turkey Nader. Man, it's probably turkey hunting season up there up north now. That's probably over now, right? Neo, 6-month daily. 6-month daily, it looks pretty good there. I'd be targeting it about $30 on Neo if you wanted it. Not something I would trade, but if you like Neo, I'd be targeting $30 as that next resistance area. Tesla's still taking off there. There she goes. She's still climbing. That might have a big move there again today. We might see Tesla back at 800 by the end of the week. Just watching for that next move here for us, for that next day trade. Snapchat shares are up 4% here today. Snapchat shares are ready to take off.
Licensing agreement with Validus, creating a framework for index innovation. That's Charlie Bravo Oscar X-ray.
That was a nice trade there, though, huh? That first one.
MS Morgan Stanley at work to
I like that snap.
acquire deferred compensation plan provider American Financial Systems. That's Michael Sandy.
Netflix up 4% here today. Nice breakout there on Netflix.
U.S. Trade Rep Ty says possible elimination of tariffs on fertilizers and components is the decision for Commerce Department. RSI, Rush Street Interactive, spiking to the highs, $4.72.
What can we expect in the future from the Federal Reserve? And I know you don't have total control over inflation, but you have a lot of sticks there. What will you use to bring this under control?
Thank you, Senator. So, financial conditions, of course, have tightened and have priced in a string of additional rate increases, and that's appropriate. Well, as you pointed out, and as Senator Tillis pointed out as well, our policy rate is only
XXII 22nd Century shares hitting new highs now, $2.24 after that from the Wall Street Journal
have already priced in additional rate increases.
on
But we need to go ahead and have them, and I think
the FDA
the most recent
possibly banning dual e-cigarettes while allowing others to.
we needed to accelerate the pace.
That TLT is really breaking out there. Up about, 2.7% there. It's up $3 today, TLT.
26 cents.
So that's what we're doing.
$2.24 at the high.
See
That's
from
X-ray, India, India.
now that we do understand the full scope of the problem, and we're using our tools to address
Fed's
it.
Powell says we understand full scope of inflation program. We are addressing it vigorously.
One of your mandates is price stability. You have to impose price stability as to all.
Powell says most recent inflation indicators suggest we need to accelerate the pace of rate hikes.
We really cannot have a sustained period of maximum employment, our other co-equal goal. You can't have that without price stability, and so we must restore
S&P futures coming down now, 37.48.
hopefully the judgment to accomplish that task. What essential that we do.
PYPL PayPal says we will be rolling out two changes in the coming weeks for our to our products and services fee for U.S. businesses and consumers.
Kiko, that sounds great there. I'll give you the link here too for our Facebook business page there.
PayPal customers in the U.S. on July 28th.
There's the link. If you guys are interested in joining, you guys could click that, shoot us a message. Got staff available to answer any questions. Q starting to climb there again. TLT still breaking higher.
Committee has done for Volcker was some
See what SPY's doing. SPY's starting to get a little bit of a climb again, down about 0.47%. 3-month daily, side by side, holding that 370. So today's really not a day to swing trade, but day trading we are on. So we're 1 from 1 so far today. $1,320 profit realized.
But reaching the standard that Volcker left it Fed would be a high reach, but one that anybody there should try to get there, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Shelby. I'll exercise my time now. Mr. Chairman, you pointed out in your testimony that the core personal consumption expenditures minus gas, food, and rent 4.9%, and even slightly declined from the previous report. So that leaves the real culprits, gas, food, and rent. First, the issue of gas price inflation is a global phenomenon.
Watching SPY there is starting to pull back below that blue 20 now. Let's see how this candle ends. Quickly gets a climb, holding at that 373 support.
And that's had been exacerbated by the Ukraine invasion. We deliberately, and the Europeans,
Like I said, 1 from 1 so far today. We were in this quick call here this morning. In at 9:45 a.m. We waited until that 9:45 came around. We were in that trade for about 8 minutes and locked in a 6.43% gain, resulting in $1,320 net profit there. So that was on 120 contracts. So that was a nice quick little gain. We'll look for that next one. And you could easily target 3,000 a day doing this. 3,000 a day, you do that for, 5 days a week. There's 15,000 a week. It's pretty simple if you're just looking for those quick scalps. You just got to be disciplined, follow the trade plan, and be in and out like we've been. Looks like I'm watching Q's over there get a quick climb. Got right up to that 10-day. So just watching the markets here. I'm watching the watch list here as well, seeing what's moving. It's probably starting to break out there again. I'd love to pick Bob up off the lows, but she's still pulling back there. So we'll wait for that. Let's see, SPY. Waiting for that breakout here to possibly enter into another day trade. You can see it's been holding that blue 20-day. Starting to get that climb here again. So I'll get another trade ready to go here for that SPY. Options. SPY. Expo will be for today. I'll target that 375 call. I'm not going to get into it yet. Like I said, I'm waiting. But here would be that trade. 375 call. It's going for about $1.07 there. She's starting to break out nicely there. All right, I'm going to look for this order here. Let me see. All right. I'm in at $1.08, $1.08.5, $1.09-ish. I'm in that trade. She's already at $1.11 there. Nice breakout there. Nice continued climb. Q's want to break out there too. I'm watching Q's over to the right.
BOXB bust shares getting a pop here at the highs of 30% now. Bravo Oscar, X-Ray Delta, BOXB.
That's a step, but we have to do much more too. Is that accurate?
I think that's really a question for you. We're very focused on sticking to our knitting and carrying out the task that we've been assigned.
No, I appreciate that, and the independence of the Fed is something that has to be protected and by everyone, including.
We break above that 374 there. We're going to have that next run. Waiting to see if that's going to happen here.
We're at a tremendous, I think, turning point in our economy. Factors that 10, other
Let's see.
companies are either
It's getting ready to.
unconsciously limiting investment because they're anticipating an electrified power supply, electric cars, electric everything. Is that something that the Fed is looking at?
I think that is certainly, if you pick up the annual report of any of the big oil companies, you'll see that that is something that is happening, and it's a rational economic response to expectations about where future policy is headed.
No, again, I think there are so many factors here, but I think it's good to get some of them on the table. And thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. With that, let me recognize Senator Tillis.
Thank you, Senator Reid. Again,
Bam! I am out, guys, at $1.15. Out at $1.15. That was another nice trade right there. Look at this trade here. Out at $1.15, and here we go.
going to rise long before they do. According to the Fed's own analysis of these rules,
That was a beauty.
will be above 6%.
109 to 115, 1.15. Divide that by 1.09. So we made over 5.5% on that.
Should have prompted the Fed to begin raising rates Q4 last year, Q1 this year. I'm concerned to the
Net profit. How many contracts did we have? 130, right?
rules-based
Yep, 130.
discretionary monetary policy. As the Fed reviews monetary policy strategy, Chair Powell,
$780.
considering an increased weight for a rules-based strategy in Fed decision-making, and if not, why?
So, we do use policy rules like the various forms of the Taylor rule in all of the analysis.
U.S. Trade Rep Ty says it's time to turn the page on the old playbook on China trade relationship and defend U.S.
Fed's
interests.
never really used them in a prominent way.
That was another nice one.
Actually set policy in real time.
Another one.
But that's not to say they don't shed light, and we do consult them.
All right, there we go, guys. Just posted that in the trade room. There is the execution and closure of that trade. Here it was right here. She's starting to take off again. There she goes at $1.20 now. But we were in that for $1.09, $1.08, $1.09-ish. So $1.09 to 115. You know, obviously that is $6 per contract. 130 times 6. 5.5% gain, net profit $780, bringing the day's total so far to, let's see, 1320 plus 780. We are up $2,100 for the day so far with those two trades. Nice job, guys. Let's look for that next one. Great job so far. There goes SPY starting to break out again. Going to go back and get another trade ready to go here. We're getting another nice breakout. Those contracts are already at $1.30. You know, if I just hold on a little bit longer there. Let's see. Let's do it again. Expiration June 22nd. What strike did we just have? We'll do 375 call. They're going for about $1.30 now. 120 times 130. That's about a $15,000 trade. Market order.
Digiday reporting Amazon, AMZN, and Trade Desk, ETD.
All right, I just jumped back in at $1.33 there. I'm back in at $1.33 on that same trade. I'm in it at $1.33. And there we go. Another nice breakout. She's already at $1.50. Wow, that was a quick gain. Let's see if we can get rid of her for $1.52.
Trade Desk moving here on volume.
Inflation target, then amended this in 2020 to
I think we're gonna get filled.
so that inflation averages 2% over time. Many warned this approach would simply give inflation a foothold before the Fed could respond. Now inflation's at 6.5%.
There we go. We just got filled at, let's see,
Analysts are predicting a recession.
$1.52. In at $1.33, out at $1.52 on that trade. What is that? That's a big gain. 1.52, divide that by 1.33. That is a 14.29% gain right there. That one was enough. Wait till you see what type of profit I made on this one. So we were in right here, $1.33. 14.29% gain. Net profit equals. We had 120 contracts, so 1.52 minus 1.33, $19 times 120. That was $2,280 on that trade.
Different forces. The real question is, how long will this new set of forces be sustained? And we can't know that. But
And that makes us 3 for 3 today.
In this new economy.
And final question is, there is some renewed discussions about increased spending and increased taxes.
It's still going too.
Oh, don't even tell me that. Don't even tell me that.
Pass a bill that increased spending by $500 billion or $1 trillion and raise taxes. Would that make your job easier?
So here we go. Here's that trade that we just completed.
Getting involved in these fiscal debates.
Oh, look at that. $1.51 now. What do we sell it at? $1.52. Ah, we still sold it at the highs. Here you go. Here is that last trade that we just did. We were in at 10.13, out at 10.14. We were in that trade about 45 seconds there. We were in at $1.33. So if you guys could see this right down here, we were in at $1.33. This is where we bought it to open, 120 contracts. And then here was our sell order. It got filled in a few blocks there, a few lots, but it all got closed out at $1.52. So that equals 14.29% gain. And then you guys remember there's 100 shares per contract. So 152 minus 133 equals 0.19. There's 100 shares per contract, so that becomes $19 per contract. Multiply that by 120, and that equals our $2,280 gain right there. Bringing the total to what? We have 20. We were at 21 plus 21. We are at a total now of the day for $4,380. Not bad there, guys. And there she goes. She's still breaking out. Another nice climb happening. Man, it's only freaking 10:17. It feels like it's so much later. Oh, man, look at they're at $1.73 now. Damn it. Look at that breakout. We got a nice run happening right now.
So those are really questions for the competition authorities, questions of industry structure and consolidation. They really aren't questions that we directly address. We raise interest rates and our job.
$4,380 so far, Dave. Oh, look at those contracts going for $2 now, dude. $2.
It's been a nice climb, man.
Dude, that would have been over $10,000 in profits on that last trade.
I mean,
Do you hear me?
yeah, oh yeah.
That was amazing. Amazing job there. I mean, look at that. That was 3 for 3 right there, and we've been all doing it live. 3 for 3, $2,280, 14.29% gain, and at $1.33 out of $1.52. Man, she's at $2 though. So if I held on, those extra 120 contracts would have been worth an extra $6,000. I would add an extra $6,000 profit for literally an extra minute. She's starting to break out again. I should jump back in, but this time do the 376s because there's a chance she might get up to that 380 today if that breakout continues. That's what I was thinking about there today. Look at that daily chart and then take a look at that. So if we wanted to do that, let's take a look.
certainty that the global oil prices, which have very important effects on gas prices here at home, are set on the global market, and that, as we mentioned earlier, there's a large cartel that is responsible to a significant extent for setting those prices. We take that as given.
So do you pay attention to what is Wall Street is saying and what these cartels are doing?
SPY is starting to break out again there. Another nice breakout. Those 375s now. Take a look what they're going for there.
Because the price of gas is so high. So you would assume, I would hope that you would take that into consideration.
212.
That it's going to continue.
Oh, man. 212.
There is a challenge in holding these oil companies accountable.
That would have been about a $13,000 profit right there on that trade.
Anything that could affect
Damn.
the use of our tools and the need to use our tools. And I think with the future price of oil, the best thing you can probably do is look at oil futures, because oil futures in theory should be taking into account all of these factors, and that's what we do. But ultimately, the question for us is, do we raise or lower interest rates? We don't have tools that would address these practices that you're discussing. They're not really. Of course, we understand them.
Well, do you have concern?
SPY trying to break that 376 there.
Controlling the prices that we have right now? Do you take that into consideration with the tools that you need to reduce inflation, reduce these costs?
Honestly, those are not judgments for us to make. We're
All right, here we go. Trying to break that 376 again.
Romeo Echo X-ray.
I would assume you take that into consideration. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, when you say take it into consideration, we do have to have a forecast of oil prices, and we do. But ultimately, though, the question for us is price inflation. What's happening with price inflation? And it's a macroeconomic question. It's not a question about industry structure or corporate behavior. It's a question about what will be the behavior of inflation across the economy. And in particular, there's really not anything that we can do about oil prices. There's a little, food prices is a bit more mixed, but for oil prices, they're set at the global level. It has to do with global oil prices and also the refining spread. Neither of these are things that we have the tools to affect.
Does it concern you that these oil companies haven't come to the table to look for a solution how this reduce
Honestly,
fuel costs?
I don't think it's appropriate for the Fed or for me to be reaching out into areas of policy that are not assigned to us. It's not up to us to comment on that sort of thing. We have a very
Shares of Altria, Michael Oscar, just off the lows now, 41.41 down about 9.5% after the Wall Street Journal reported that the FDA will order Juul e-cigarettes off the market. That's Michael Oscar.
Chairman Powell, welcome again. It seems as though for the last couple of times that we've had you in front of this committee, inflation has been a primary item of discussion. I want to follow up.
Look at that breakout still going on there.
I'd like to take it in a little bit different path, perhaps, because when it comes to breaking down the different causes of inflation, clearly there is the supply side and the demand side. The reality is that a large portion of the inflation stems from the higher energy prices, which is part of the supply side issue. When President Biden took office January of 2021 through January of 2022, the price of unleaded gas has increased by 50% during that time period, from $2.33 to about $3.30 per gallon. Now that was well before the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Higher prices are instead, I believe, a direct result of policy decisions.
ALT, Altimmune, the August $6 call is active. Alpha Lima Tango, ALT.
Choking off future access through the Keystone XL pipeline and increasing U.S. dependence on foreign energy sources by actively...
Look at that breakout still happening there, Dill. Look at that, 280 now for those freaking calls that we had. Dude, 280. Dude, we picked them up for $1.33. They're at 280. They're still climbing. 2.8, divide that by 1.33. They're up 111% right now. Man, if I held on to that, it's 20 grand.
So
That's
if
gross.
you attempt
Ah.
to use your tools that are available at this time to address what I believe to be the policy-induced side of inflation, do you
So we're
risk
getting a
hurting the
nice move here
economy
today.
by using these
Nice day
interest
here
rate
today.
increases when in effect, as you indicated
SUMR,
earlier
summer
in
infants,
this
kids to
meeting,
acquire
you really can't impact the
summer
price of
infants.
gas or the price of food.
I think that's right. We know that our tools can affect aspects of inflation, and that would include certainly energy inflation and food inflation. So, nonetheless, our
Netflix is up almost 4.5% there today. Did you see that?
we also know that
Amazon's up 2% right now, still climbing, looking good.
than headline inflation itself is, because food and
We are
energy
looking
tend to be
great here
volatile,
today.
tend to move up and move down, and that's been the history. So core enables us to look through that volatility, and so we focus very much on that.
That
as,
acquisition
as
completed.
better representation
That was
of what
previously announced.
underlying inflation of the economy is at any given time.
And I think it
And a uniform
in this
Michael
particular
Romeo.
case that core inflation
378 calls are going for $1.
included some of those
What's that?
378 calls are going for $1. If you break out of that.
of inflation.
I was thinking, yeah, 378. Yeah, because I mean they could be worth $2 there. Qs are at new highs of the day right there, 284.24. I'm looking at that over to the right.
Due to inflation.
PayPal's getting a nice little climb there today, up 2.31. I want to see SPY break that 377 there.
Just indicated you focus on core and your tools.
I'm having a really good freaking day here today.
Heck yeah.
Heavy drivers.
My last trade got rejected. I don't know why, so
South
gotta
Dakota,
wait for the
same
next
as the
one.
rest of the country. See, Mr. Chairman, what I believe is going to happen here, and I just share this.
Come on, SPY, break that 377 there. Qs are still strong.
Takes the fall. If inflation
Let's go down that watch list there, see if anything else is popping up
to you and
while we're waiting on SPY.
you have the tools
Someone let me know if SPY breaks that 377 if you're watching that, okay? While you go down this watch list here.
I got you, man.
feeling today.
Amazon still breaking out nicely. New highs of the day on Amazon.
Total cost of inflation, and my citizens.
Nice gains there today.
SPCE Virgin Galactic, the January 2020
SPCE.
dollar
We haven't been watching space in a while.
We're focused on the part of it
Any
that we
profit
can
Charlie?
Google's having a nice run there today.
There are parts of the economy,
Bob is ready for that breakout here again. Maybe we should do some Baba calls.
and that's what we're focused on.
Very good. Just very briefly, Mr. Chairman, another item. The bottom
Shares of
banking supervision.
Virgin
issued a press release indicating
Galactic,
they made
$6.51, the high.
to the calculation
SPC.
It's a nice little breakout there. 106.50.
important banks, the G6.
5, 6, 7.
Do you, the Federal Reserve as being a part of this organization, do you believe
Netflix up about 5% there.
change reflects the views of the Federal Reserve as an influential member?
Tesla up
Looking like it's about to break out.
Apparently,
SPY.
it looks
Looking like
the
it's
Federal
about
Reserve
to.
provided some
getting
advantages
pressure.
for European banks over U.S. banks.
DOXD box, more new highs now, $2.17.
How they view risk within
Cents.
the EU community.
So
Bravo Oscar
understanding
X-ray
that
Delta
is,
shares up now about
Moderna now up over 4%. That had a big climb there at 10 o'clock.
transactions that go across national lines within the
Snapchat's
European
still
Union.
breaking
It
out.
doesn't
Ah.
apply at all here, and ultimately the capital rules that Europeans apply are decided by Europeans, not by us.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks, Senator Rounds. Senator Warren.
Do you think I should pick up 10,000 shares of Snapchat?
To the highs, 37.
What, covered calls?
I'm just going to pick up some shares and then sell some covered calls in a week or so. There goes, let's see, SPY still consolidating there. Wants to have that breakout there. Everything else is on the climb. So it's just a matter of time before SPY breaks that 377. Let's see, it looks like it wants. Notice all the wicks here, how it got right up to that 377 here for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. That's our consolidation area right there. That is our consolidation area. I'm horrible at drawing straight lines, obviously, but you get the picture. Now, if we break above that 377 here, chances are we're going to see that quick climb because we're breaking above that resistance area. I should get ready another trade just for that quick in and out.
What, 378?
Yeah, 378 would be SPY Expo today 378 call market. That's at $1.05-ish.
Some of the disruption on supply chains. What I don't think has been fully addressed yet is some of the challenges that are coming around from China in terms of their zero COVID policy.
I mean, SPY is barely in the green here today, but if that breaks at 377, that'll have a nice breakout. Watching those, I mean, look, they're at. So here's the trade that I'd be looking at here. SPY June 20, not the 24th. Not Baba.
As Powell says, we don't think we've seen the full effect of lockdowns in China yet.
That'd be the trade I'd be looking at. Powell says he doesn't think we've seen the full effect of lockdowns in China yet, so that's not good.
It's huge reproduction across the world.
We don't think we've seen the full effect of the lockdowns that we've had. We said we'll expect to be seeing some negative effects on bottlenecks. On the other hand, China now seems to be coming out.
There goes SPY. There we go. She's breaking.
It seems to be picking up. Any advanced indicators are that their economy may
Let's
be
see.
recovering. But of course, the zero COVID policy, as long as it's in place, it certainly.
Do I want to jump in that trade there or no? Looks like she wants to have that quick little run.
And again, we're all looking for short-term items, and frankly, I'm glad that the president, I know there's some folks on my side of the aisle concerned about the president visiting Saudi Arabia and visiting with the leadership of that regime. I think we've got to use all the tools in the toolkit and getting additional partners in the
I'm not going to enter into that one yet. I should have, but shoulda. See, I should have jumped in. I would have been. I had 150 contracts ready to go for the $1.10. She's at $1.20 now. That's $10 a contract. That would have been $1,500.
Really not anything.
Skyjack's in the 378s.
Not the Fed's.
Paul said nothing we can do about oil prices.
Industry competition.
Looks like we're going to get to that 380. It really does.
easy takeaway tax, tough to put back on. There's always an excuse not to, but I'm open to seeing a better analysis. I do want to recognizing that not everything can be done with a flick of a switch. You know, there's a piece of legislation that's been floating around here for almost a year, passed the Senate a year ago on a broadly bipartisan basis, passed the House a number of months ago. The House, frankly, took the wrong approach. But it goes at least one of the inflationary pressures here, which is making sure that we've got a domestic supply chain on semiconductor chips. Every device that has an on and off switch requires a semiconductor chip. And right now we see, particularly around auto inflation, one of the big drivers is the lack of chip.
All right, I just got in that 378 call for $1.11. I'm in for $1.11 on that 378.
Legislation, $52 billion of investment would build at least 10 semiconductor facilities here in America. I know Senator Brown has been a big advocate for this. If we don't do this, I don't think there'll be another semiconductor facility built in America, even though some have been announced. Point out the fact that a year ago the Europeans had no plan yet in semiconductor investment. Intel recently announced $8 billion from the German government. When the German bureaucracy and European bureaucracy moves faster than the American legislative process, I don't care which side of the aisle we're in trouble. So in the last few seconds, I know you don't want to weigh in on a specific piece of legislation, but the notion of investment in a key industry component like semiconductor, long term in terms of keeping inflationary pressures down, might move or not.
Again, I wouldn't, as you say, I wouldn't comment on a specific legislative proposal.
Talk about these issues.
I'll just say that I do think we learned a lot about global supply chains, and we're still learning. It's important to take the right lessons, and I think it's an important area to explore about how we can harden up and improve our sourcing capabilities, including what should be here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, Senator Warren. Senator Kennedy from Louisiana is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, inflation is
They're talking with Powell here.
supply and demand. Can we agree on that?
Let's see if we're going to hold that 10.
And to put a little finer point on it, our inflation at this time, and this is the case with respect to most cases of inflation, demand is greater than supply, so prices go up.
In some parts of the economy, yes.
Right. Now, you're trying to lower, so we've got a situation where demand's up here, supply's down here. You're trying to lower demand. Is that correct?
Yes, while also giving the supply side time to recover. There's some ground to be covered on that side.
Yes, but you've talked about your role, scope, and mission, and your job is monetary, and you're trying to lower demand.
Well, I'm trying to I would say lower demand growth. We don't know that the demand has to actually go down, which would be a recession.
Well, 70% of our economy is
I like him, Senator McConnell.
driven by consumer demand, and you're trying to lower demand and slow the economy down. Am I correct?
I guess I just say we're slowing down growth.
Right. That's what the economy is. Growth.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There's another way.
Out of that trade there.
You alluded to that.
Out of that trade, let's see. Where the hell is the order status there? I'm out at, man, she's at $1.20. I'm out at $1.16 on that trade. Nice gain there. Was that the fourth or fifth trade? I think the fifth, right?
I think it was 4.
4? In at $1.11, out at $1.16. I had 150 contracts there. So let's see, 1.16, divide that by 1.11. That is another 4.5% gain. For
9.63% gain on that one.
how much?
9.6.
9.6. Nice. And look, oh man, look at it now. Ah.
Important over the medium and longer term, but probably not so much in the short term. But it's things.
So I had 150 contracts. 150 times 5. That's $750.
Things that will increase the productive capacity.
Well, how about, a longer run, as Keynes said, we're all dead. I'm interested right now in the short run.
Still running 2.
Man, I should have been in that longer. What are you doing, Dylan? So what's that? 444? Is that Oh, look at that! $1.35 on that now.
High up about 0.75%.
Increased capacity.
So yeah, that's 4 for 4.
I'm not trying to get you to endorse legislation. Look, Mr. Chairman, we got to have a message. Okay, inflation.
Man, that was another nice one. $750 there. All right, we're up what? Over $5,000 today.
In other parts of the country, of the world, I'm sorry they're having inflation in other parts of the world, but
There is that last trade.
will feel better.
4 for 4, guys. It's at $1.40 right now. We just closed it out at $1.16. $1.40. 1.4 minus 1.16. That would have been an extra 24. 24 times 150. That would have been an extra 3,600. But like I said, I'm happy. $750. We were in at 10.33, out at 10.36. 3-minute trade, in at $1.11, out at $1.06. That's a 4.5% gain on a quick day trade there. We scalped that for, 3 minutes there, and made $750 on that trade. So nice job on that. So let's add this up here because, actually it's only 10:30, but let's add these up together still so far because I don't know where I'm at so far today. So $750 on this one, so that's 4 for 4. Let's go see that next one. Here's the one that was 3 for 3. So we'll add another plus 2,280. That's $3,030 so far total. Let's go see the next one. Here's the one 2 for 2. This one we made 780 plus 780, 3,810. Now let's look at that first one. That first one was a nice one there. We made how much on that one? We made 1,320. So plus 1,320. So we are up so far today. Realized profit $5,130 today.
Hell yeah.
$5,130 today. There's trade number 1. 6.43% gain, $1,320 profit. Trade 2, 5.5% gain, $780 profit. Trade 3, 14.29% gain. Net profit, $2,280. And then trade 4 here, 4.5% gain. Net profit, $750. 4 for 4 so far, guys. And like I said, we're just day trading some contracts that are expiring here today. So great job so far. Amazon's up 3%, so I should have some really nice gains there on the Amazon shares there as well. Man, look at that. Nice. Up $4,354 today on that.
Potentially pulling back at the moment.
What's that?
Pulling back at the moment.
What is?
S&P.
What's that?
S&P.
Oh, SPY. I got it pulled up right here, holding at that 10 now. We'll see if it holds that 10. Struggling with that 378 resistance. She breaks that, we'll look for that 380 quick. A lot of things are starting to climb, though. Tesla back up 3.7%. Guys, if you guys on YouTube are watching this, liking it, please click like. Please click subscribe there to our channel. Click the bell to get notifications. You know, would greatly appreciate that there, guys.
We just had a flood that cost $1 billion worth of damage in southern Montana. $1 billion they're projecting. We free spending that number every
That Kiko Red on YouTube is asking a question if you want to get back to him. Tell him shoot us a message at the business page there.
The chairman of the Fed has is that it really needs to focus on what he needs to do, and if it was a simple solution, we'd already had it done. I'm concerned about rural America and the impact that inflation's having on rural America, and I know that
Watching the watch list here, Tesla up 3.7. AMD's getting a nice little climb there, up 2.5%. 3-month daily here on AMD.
and I know we've had a conversation.
Nice little breakout there today.
It's supply and it's demand, and you're only dealing with the demand part, which is an important part.
Netflix up 6% there today. Netflix is on fire.
Strongest people in the world to be able to deal with some of this stuff.
Still think it's a bit overvalued, though.
Is the Fed doing anything in particular that I could take back to my constituents and say this
As
is
Powell said, tremendously
rate of inflation in rural America?
challenging situation, the agricultural industry.
Let's take a look at SPY, see if we can get another signal for a day trade.
To have very large agricultural economies within their districts, and we hear, excellent reports from them about what's going on. And it's clearly a tremendously challenging situation. Fertilizer prices and all kinds of inputs, very very difficult situation. Can't get parts for your equipment and that kind of thing. So, overall, we do appreciate that. You're not seeing this yet, but when times do get difficult, then we work carefully with borrowers in the Farm Bill and that kind of thing, because we know, that's what you do in those kind of times. We're not at that times at this point, but that's one thing we have done in the past. I mean, overall, we think we need to get back to price stability, and that will help. That will help everybody. Will help the whole economy.
Powell says we need to get back to
including
price
rural America.
stability. That will help everyone.
I know they've been raised a bit recently, I think 3/4 of a point, correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm not gonna ask you where interest rates need to be, but I do think that there's a fine line to walk, and you tell me if I'm wrong, where if interest rates are raised too high, it could drive us into a recession. Can you tell me some of the things you're looking at to make sure that doesn't happen?
Sure. So when we pivoted and started talking about raising rates last year, markets have priced in rate increases so that all out of the curve of debt maturities, interest rates have already
EEV,
moved up to
Phoenix,
reflect interest rate
shares popping here at $4.97. Papa Echo Victor.
is a low short-term rate, which is our policy rate. So, and the increase that we made
Moving
one
on
decision
volume.
at this meeting, which was to raise by 75 basis points, but only to 1.6%. So, and we thought that was the right thing to do. I'm happy to discuss why. But really, the point is that our policy rate is still at a relatively low level.
As Powell says,
We want to get it up to a more neutral
I was
bullish.
persuaded it was important that we
Uh,
make the
but
75
being
basis
more
point.
expeditiously,
Still
therefore,
holding
I
that
think that's what
20
these
right
bonds are
there. Thinking
for.
about doing another
And
trade on
that's
that.
really so the concern. I don't think is about the level. It was with the speed. Are we moving too quickly? And I think we were. I was persuaded that it was important that we make this move now and not wait and telegraph it and do it 6 months, 6 weeks later, for example, or the meeting after that. It was important to do it now because where we are with inflation is having seen inflation come in above target over and over again. And we said we'd move more aggressively if it was appropriate. We thought it was appropriate, and we did.
So what, and so you said you want to get the things more to a neutral level, and are we to a neutral level now?
No, so we estimate the longer run neutral level of the federal funds rate to be in around 2.5%, and actually we think it will be appropriate to raise rates above a neutral level into a modestly restrictive level because this is very high inflation and it's hurting everybody, and we need to do our job and get inflation back on a path down to 2%, and the way we're going to do that we think is raise rates, of course, to that level. Of course, everything depends on the data that we see. We're going to be we're really
There goes
strong
SPY
in
breaking
getting
down here.
inflation
Let's
at
see now if we
2%,
can
but
do another
it's
quick
also
little day
obviously
trade with some SPY
Do you agree
puts.
with the perspective, and then I'll be done, but do you agree with the perspective that if interest rates go too high too fast, it could drive us into a recession?
certainly a possibility. It's not our intended outcome at all, but it's certainly a possibility. And frankly, the events of the last few months around the world have made it more difficult for us to achieve what we want, which is 2% inflation and still a strong labor market.
Thank you, Mr.
Mr.
Chairman.
Senator Haggerty of Tennessee is recognized. Thank you, Chairman Brown. Chairman Powell, one of the many downsides of quantitative easing is the fact that the Federal Reserve, and then by extension the American taxpayer, is essentially taking a long position in the securities that are required. And that means that when rates rise, the value of the securities on your balance sheet drop. That's exactly what's happening today. And as of March of this year, the Federal Reserve had about $330 billion worth of unrealized loss on its balance sheet. That number's probably close to half a trillion right now, given the rise in rates. So my question to you is, do these unrealized losses limit the Federal Reserve's ability to execute its monetary policy objectives? And specifically, will the Fed sell mortgage-backed securities and realize a loss? Or will the Fed be cornered into holding these securities until they appreciate?
So those kind of unrealized losses play no role in our decision making, have no effect at all on our ability to conduct monetary policy. They're just not a consideration, and they won't be a consideration when we decide whether to sell and in what quantity of MBS. We said we would look at selling MBS when.
All right, let's take a look here at some SPY puts if we start that breakdown. SPY.
We haven't decided exactly what that means. We make that decision, and the reason, by the way, the reason we want to do that is we're committed.
Let's see, it'd be for 376
And with
put.
these higher rates, MBS prepayment speeds have gone way down, and so to achieve the mostly treasury balance sheet, we may well need to sell MBS.
Okay, so if I make a trade here, it's going to be for the SPY 376 straight put for today's expo. If we continue this breakdown, okay? So it would be SPY
About the balance sheet. I mean, remember that we've contributed
376 strike put, going for about $1.17 right now.
over the course of the last 10 years. The reason we don't
So if we start breaking down, that's what I'm going to end up picking up here.
next to the treasury every year, so it's not at all a concern for us.
But to be clear, these long-dated mortgage-backed securities may be sold as a loss. You're not limiting your ability to do that to sell at a loss.
No.
That could happen. I just think that the downside of quantitative easing is very much illustrated for us when you find yourself in this situation holding these long-dated securities. To turn to another point, Chairman Powell, I realize there are a number of factors that play a role in the historic inflation that we're experiencing. Supply chain disruptions, regulations that constrain supply. We've got rising inflation expectations and excessive fiscal spending.
Reuters reporting Tesla to suspend most production at Shanghai plant in the first 2 weeks of
Inflation was at
July
1.4%.
to upgrade the site from an internal
Tesla.
memory. That's Tango 10 using the Alpha.
Five-fold increase.
From
Since the war in
Reuters.
Ukraine began in late February, the rate of inflation has risen incrementally, another 1.6%, to a current level of 8.6%. So again,
There's a Tesla pulling back from the high 731.91.
Inflation has escalated over the past 18 months,
say that the war in Ukraine is the primary driver of inflation in America?
No, inflation was high before, certainly before the war in Ukraine broke out.
I'm glad to hear you say that. The Biden administration seems to be intent on deflecting blame, and as recently as just this past Sunday, spread the misinformation that Putin's invasion of Ukraine is the, quote, biggest single driver of inflation. I'm glad you agree with me that that is not the truth. I'd like to turn to the situation we find ourselves in now, tightening. A recent survey of global CEOs showed that more than 60% of executives expect a recession in the next 18 months. Meanwhile, per its most recent forecast, the Fed will be tightening monetary policy for the next 2.5 years. Thus, the Fed could soon find itself in the challenging position of potentially exacerbating an economic downturn in order to address the historic inflation that's been unleashed by the Biden administration. So, Mr. Chairman, as you know, the Fed has a dual mandate: stable prices and maximum employment. As we look to the fall, how do you think about balancing this potential tension between the Fed's two mandates?
Fed's Powell says we are far from the target on inflation.
So we do have a dual mandate, as you point out. Right now, the labor market is extremely tight, and I would say unsustainable.
Watch and see if we continue that pullback from that 10 here
There's a mismatch between supply and demand.
on SPY.
There's more job openings than there are, by a factor of 2 to 1, than there are unemployed people looking for work. On the inflation side, we're very far from our target. So
Powell says we don't
that
think
have
we will need to
restore
provoke a
stability,
recession.
get the economy back in a place where, in the medium and longer term, we can have a sustained period of what we would call maximum employment. So that's how we're thinking about it. Of course, we're not trying to provoke, and don't think that we will need to provoke a recession, but we do think it's absolutely essential that we restore price stability.
SPI Energy shares spiking here. Sandy top in India.
Extremely challenging job, particularly given some of the physical.
Moving along with Phoenix shares, which hit $5.71 and were halted on a circuit breaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and welcome back to the committee. Chair Powell, it's good to see you again. I want to follow up on this issue of this imbalance between labor demand.
SPI Energy owns 85% of PEV and moving along with that stock.
There were 5.5
SPI.
million more jobs in April than available workers, and so we have, as a result, an extremely competitive labor market and very strong wage growth.
So far, just pretty flat.
Higher than wage growth, so that's wiping out worker gains and leaving a lot of folks with what amounts to a pay cut, as they, at the same time, try to figure out how to pay for higher prices for gas and food. So let me ask you this, Chair Powell, with all of that in mind, what is the basis for the argument that wages are too high and that they need to come down in order to rein in inflation?
So it isn't that wages themselves are too high, it's that the rate of growth of wages is not consistent, and I'll explain this, not consistent with 2% inflation over time. So, of course, it's great when wages go up, and we want them to go up. We want people to get strong wage increases, but at a certain point,
Watch and SPY right there, guys, at that 10, seeing what it's going to do.
companies start raising prices, and you wind up getting high inflation.
Looks like it wants to start that climb.
Reverse engineer
See what it does at 377.
would be consistent with 2% inflation over the longer term. Today's wage increases, if you look across the numbers and measures that we look at, they're significantly above that. Now, there's some evidence that they're flattening out, particularly average hourly earnings. There's some evidence that measure of wages is flattening out, so that it's no longer going up. So it's really not about reducing wages. It's just having a more sustainable pace of increases.
And what would you expect if wages started to stabilize, as you say, they stopped increases? How long would you expect it to be before the prices that consumers are paying would start to go down?
So
Or are they ever going to go down?
it depends in prices don't have to go down.
How long until prices go down? They're asking. They're not going down for a while, from what I've been reading.
Depends on different businesses. In some parts of the service economy, labor costs are a very large portion of costs, and so you would think that gets passed through very quickly into prices. And so we would think we would think that pass through should be shown fairly quickly in some parts of the economy. In others, a little less so. But over time, we would want wages to be moving up at the highest sustainable rate that's possible,
Right.
and consistent with 2% inflation.
Of course, at the same time, labor market, but simultaneously we continue to see higher unemployment rates among African Americans, for example, nearly double the unemployment of white Americans. So, how do you see this sort of interplay between wage growth and what the Fed actions to cool demand on that underlying issue?
So we don't target wage growth, of course. Our job is price stability.
Right.
We look at wage growth because over a long period of time, it's an important factor in determining price stability, and so that's really how we think about it. In terms of the disparities, we saw those disparities increase at the beginning of the pandemic. As we pointed out in our monetary policy report, those gaps have at least returned to historically lower levels. There's still gaps though, and those are not really gaps that we can get at with monetary policy. But we point them out because they're an important aspect of our economy, and we do consider them as we think about appropriate policy.
I think I would agree with you. I think that those are sort of systemic challenges in our economy that need to be addressed through the policy that we work on here. You know, it seems to me that I think we have a labor supply problem in this country, and we should be dealing with that in Congress in terms of what we need to do
PEV, Phoenix Motor resuming trade now, Papa Echo Victor.
the jobs that our economy is creating. But it also seems to me that as long as wage growth is lagging inflation, that in some ways labor costs are actually dampening inflationary pressures because they're not.
Shares hitting $6.44 now
I think it's just an interesting
at the high on increasing
issue.
volume.
No argument there.
Yeah. Well, I just have a couple of minutes left. I'm not going to have a chance to get into this, but I'm quite interested also in this, that what we're seeing around the country everywhere, and especially in Minnesota, about extraordinarily high increases in housing. The Fed is raising interest rates.
See what it's going to do with that 50 here, guys. That's a really important area right here.
Because mortgage prices are going to go up and other costs going up in terms of building housing is going to go up. So I'm just am interested in how you sort of weigh that dilemma.
So, after the pandemic, for a number of reasons, housing demand went way up. Rates were low, but also people decided they wanted to live more in housing, single-family homes rather than downtown. And so prices went up all over the country at very, very high levels. Now you see the housing market slowing down because you see higher rates are having an effect. That should have an effect on housing prices, perhaps even fairly quickly, so that prices won't necessarily come down, but price increases will flatten out. We're seeing lower home sales, we're seeing lower starts, so we're seeing a slowing in housing. And ideally,
Fed's Powell says there are constraints on housing construction.
Pandemic were appropriate, but part of what that did was it supported a lot of demand for housing. Maybe we're going to get back to a place where supply and demand are closer. I will say I agree with you on the labor shortage issue, which is a longer term issue that we have, but also with housing there are constraints.
Looks like it wants to hold that 50.
So that it's it's very possible that we'll be in a position where there isn't enough appropriate housing at the right price, and that's a longer run issue. Again, not so much for us as for you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Senator Lopez of Wyoming is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Chairman Powell, for being with us today. It'll come as no surprise to you that I want to focus on digital assets and Fed master accounts. So my first question is about the accounting treatment of digital assets, specifically SEC Staff Accounting Bulletin 121. So this bulletin requires publicly traded companies, including banks, to hold
Fed Powell says we could find there's not enough housing at the right price.
as an on-balance sheet liability.
Not enough housing.
So will the accounting standards contained in this bulletin that requires it to be on balance sheet?
Let's see what she's going to do here.
By the Federal Reserve to banks and bank holding companies.
That's something we too saw that and understood the implications, and I think that's something we're working on with our fellow bank regulators. And I don't have an answer for you though, but that's certainly something we're focusing on very closely right now.
And I would note that the Basel Committee on Bank Supervision has declined to establish a capital charge for custody digital assets continues to acknowledge that they're off balance sheet. So if the standards of the SEC's staff bulletin are adopted, that would be the first time that custody assets are placed on balance sheet. Do you think it's smart for the U.S. to be imposing bank standards beyond international norms?
So again, I mean, that was the SEC has authority over accounting rules, and that's what this was. And
Bloomberg reporting JP Morgan laying off hundreds in mortgage
that's
business
where
after
I can't really
rate
say more
surge.
because we
Oh, you hear that?
Yep.
JP Morgan laying off hundreds. Wow, that's big news.
Our off-balance sheet have always been, but this is, you know, the SEC made a different decision as it relates to digital assets for reasons it explained, and now we have to consider those.
Yeah, and thank you. I encourage you to consider that and appreciate that you're looking at it and you're aware of it. That's great. So I'll turn to master accounts now, of course. The board and the reserve banks.
All right, we'll get in those 376 strike puts now.
With transparency with regard to the application process.
Look at that drop now. Dude, look at that drop.
A master account is a
JP
public
Morgan,
benefit.
total affected would be more than 1,000 workers, of about
Wow,
half of the
1,000 workers, dude. That's crazy.
Doesn't the public have a right to know which institutions have master accounts and which have applied for accounts and not received them? Both the FDIC and the OCC publicly list similar application information on their websites today. So could you commit as part of a transparency project to make publicly available a list of institutions that have received
Well, now all those layoffs are going to be starting, you know.
institutions that have applied and not
It's going to get crazy.
So I'd be glad to look into that. You know our system well, and it really is that the Fed, the board, you know, we set rules, but the reserve banks really make the decisions about granting accounts subject to those rules. And we actually think we can improve on that system with the current proposal we have, and are considering comments on that right now, as I'm sure you know very well.
I'm out of that trade at $1.60. In at 137, out at $1.60. 150 contracts. Look at this trade. Out of that trade. Oh man, I should have held on a little bit longer. Should have held on a little bit longer. Look at this trade though. That was a freaking beauty. What is that? 5 for 5 or what?
I believe. Correct.
Let's see. So we were in at 137, out at 160. 1.6, divide that by 1.37. 17% gain.
Very nice.
And so there's a whipsaw effect, and we get more into the black hole continues to exist, and you know, my frustration level has long since.
How many did I have there?
Boiling point. It continues to be at a boiling point.
Let's see,
There's no
39
responsiveness.
plus.
It's a black hole, and I wish to just once again use this opportunity.
140.
To
Okay.
encourage you to address that. There's just no excuse. There's no
23 times 140. Made $3,220 on that trade.
Very nice.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, Chairman Powell. I can't let an opportunity go by without raising the issue of the FedNow real-time payments system implementation.
What was that? 5 for 5 we said?
Correct. The system into place, it will save millions of Americans billions of dollars. Would you not? Yes, I would. And so that's why we just want to encourage you to move very quickly.
Look at that trade, guys. Man, that was a beauty.
We had an earlier hearing in May in this committee. And,
That patience paid off there, for sure. I was watching that like a hawk.
this system shared his concerns.
I was watching that like a hawk. All right, there we go, guys. Here is that last trade. That is 5 for 5 now with day trades there today. As you guys can see, we were in at right here. We were in 10:49. We were in that trade, what, 13 minutes?
Intelligent Technologies hitting new highs now.
$3,220 profit, 16.79% gain, and we are 5 for 5 now with our day trades. Great job there, guys, on that one. And that's going to bring our total here so far to the day. Let's see. 3220 plus.
Up 63%. That's X-ray Echo Lima Alpha.
This challenge in navigating between keeping a strong economy moving and low unemployment and dealing with
So 3220 plus 750 plus.
this earlier. The United States is doing a lot better than our sort of near peer economies when it comes to economic growth and quickly reducing our unemployment rate. Isn't that the case?
Plus 2280 plus. That's 3 for 3.
That's good news. And
2 for 2. Plus 780
price increases.
plus.
The concern which has been shared by others this morning is that many of the causes of those
And here's our first trade, $1,320. We made a grand net total today. Guess how much? $8,350.
Very nice.
and so I think the challenge is
Let's see here.
how do you navigate increases in interest rates?
$8,350 on those quick day trades in and out there today, guys. Great job. There's 1 for 1, 2 for 2, 3 for 3, 4 for 4, and 5 for 5, guys. Great job. That's going to do it for us this morning. If you guys are interested in joining us, come join us. BreakingChartAlerts.com. You guys could message us in the trade room there. Here is our business page. You guys could shoot us a message if you're interested in joining. We're going to be live this afternoon. We won't be on YouTube. So if you guys are interested in joining us, here is the link. Shoot us a message on our Facebook business page. And I will see everyone this afternoon that are members. And have a great day. Great job today, guys. $8,350 for that. Nice job. Take care, guys, and have a good one.